chemical free living. So previously, when there were no artificial chemical dyes, people were still wearing beautiful clothes, healthy clothes, handmade clothes, and they were, because they were using those handmade healthy clothes, they were so happy and healthy. So we can also provide such healthy clothing for our children, for our family members. So luckily we have this wonderful institute, Sankalpa Art Village, where they care about people. They provide a place where people can get all the sustainable living products which are very healthy without disturbing the mother nature. They help us live in harmony with nature. So such products are there. Some of them are on display there. If you like them, you can purchase them. But today we have Jamelia, who is running this Sankalpa Art Village along with her parents. So she will tell us the background of these natural dyes and how to prepare these natural dyes. What is the made out of natural dyes? See, my kurta, this is made out of natural dyes. Most comfortable in this cloth because it is so suitable for my skin and it is so soothing to my, and each and every herb which gives color is also a medicinal herb. They make shirts according to the disease, psoriasis shirt, bronchial asthma skirt or shirt or something like that. They make so many things and they export to foreign countries. Foreign countries are grabbing with both hands. They want everything which is pure, chemical free.
Hello. Namaste. I am Jamelia. Firstly, I'd like to thank Dr. Garu and for giving us this beautiful platform and also introducing us to every participant who had come for the workshops. We did around, I think maybe almost 8 workshops now, and more than we were able to introduce our natural dyes or our craft that we do or handlooms that we make to more than 500 people. So it's all thanks to Dr. Perumal Garu and also this space, especially when we come in, even in summers, even in hot weathers. I'm sure you all have experienced how different it is from outside, the temperatures and the entire energy inside the space. And we always are grateful for this opportunity, and thank you, sir. Now I'd like to start with what we do at Sankalpa Art Village. Like sir explained, we make naturally dyed handlooms. Firstly, why should we choose anything sustainable, or why should we opt for something that is close to nature? Can someone give me an answer? Why should anything that we choose should be natural or sustainable in some way?
If it is natural, we will feel comfort in that season because
sure.
It's according to that season.
Okay.
So we feel comfortable. suppose in summer we wear cotton,
Right.
it gives us soothing effect to the skin, so
True.
we feel comfort.
Exactly. One.
Natural is healthy purpose. Knitting naturally supports the human body.
Exactly. Lovely.
It is also good for the nature. Should
It-
be
yeah.
skin friendly.
Yes. Not only handlooms, anything natural, which is organic food that we eat, it helps us nurture our body and also it protects us from so many, so it builds our immunity in a way that it is ready for any seasonal changes, any allergies, any viruses, right? So the same thing, our skin is our biggest organ. So how we are protecting it, how we are trying to treat it, just like in Ayurveda, if we have some skin allergy or some bigger wound or a health issue, we try to treat it with herbs, right? Some herbs like karakkai, myrobalan, or some herbs like moringa, right? So there are so many herbs to treat our body or our ailments, illnesses. The same way we can also treat our body through our skin, which is the largest organ of our body. So can someone tell me the basic necessities of a human being? Food, yes. Kapda, makan, sun, shelter. The basic is food, clothing, shelter. I mean, that's how much I think is basic. So when it comes to food, you are here today because you chose to come to this workshop, learn more about Ayurvedic practices or a sustainable lifestyle, right? So one is our lifestyle, which includes our food, and the second is clothing, which we tend to not care so much about, other than the outer appeal, how it looks, how other people perceive us, what will they think, right? So our clothing is mainly based on what is other person's perception of us. So do they think we are dressing well? Do they think that, it's not about our own comfort. And one of the best things I've noticed this workshop is that many of you are wearing these cotton bunions or cotton shirts or cotton lungis or dhotis, which I felt is such a good thing, especially now the summers are starting, and so that shows how much we care about our own self. It's also self-care, how much we care about our own body, how much we care about our own idea of a being rather than what people will think about us. So that is I think one of the biggest newest things in this workshop that I've noticed, especially when you see them in full white or something. I feel like they're ready to bear the heat. They're like preparing the body, the heat and the summers. So that is the energy summer gives us. That's the energy sun gives us, right? So when summers are coming, we should be more energetic, more prepared. So how are we preparing our body? So we will be discussing today about some of the natural dyes that we make and how clothing affects our own body, and especially who all should be choosing to use this kind of clothing. A little bit about what we do at Sankalpa. We make naturally dyed handlooms. We also make some organics, essentials which we can cook and eat, like rice, some desi rice that we make, and we also make some cutlery which is sustainable. So we come from East Godavari, which is a small village here in Andhra Pradesh. So we have a lot of coconut production. It's also called the second Kerala of Andhra Pradesh. So we use that coconut shell, like we use the entire coconut tree. We have a nursery where we grow herbs and plants and we do landscaping. So for that, for plants we use coco pit. For our cutlery, and we also make hair oil with the coconuts that we get. And the outer shell is made into cups or cutlery that we use. mainly a lot of organic stores or wherever you might have seen something, if they want to add something sustainable to their store or even the households, they use coconut cutlery or terracotta cutlery or wooden cutlery mainly. So we make all of those. So our role is to make all these sustainable products more accessible. The idea is not to make profits or not to exploit our natural resources. The idea is to bring these products which we had been using. If we go to the tribal regions of Arku here, Eastern Ghats mainly, so all these products they make at home only. But now we don't have so much time or so much energy also to make such things at home. So it reminds me of one small story. My dad is a huge eccentric. So since he was a child, he liked such natural products coming from the east, like East Godavari. He really liked coconut so much. So when my mom and dad got married, the first thing they do is they take a coconut shell which they use, then they gisna pura. Like sanding it every day, making them into ice cream bowls, just for the two of them, only for them. Then after 25 years, we manufacture these coconut shell cups or cutlery or something like that. So the idea might be small, and also 25 years back, people used to make it in home, just like we used to make a lot of Ayurvedic products at home, right? I'm sure in one of the practicals, Sir might have shown you how to make kartuka, kajal, bath powders. So earlier, bath powder is a essential thing. It's like everybody had it at home. But how many of us have it at home now, right? So that's how we make our products. We make our products so that we can make it more accessible. Whoever can't make it at home or don't have that time or can't afford to have that much of effort going into a product, we want to make it at our art village and we want to make it more accessible. So that's our main aim, and we also make baby clothing from 0 to 5 years. Again, when it comes to children, we are more conscious, right? We might buy anything for us, but when it comes to a child, we think a lot. Like Sir told, a lot of chemicals are involved in making clothing, and it is mainly seen in children's clothing. So all the children clothing that we see in the malls, markets, everywhere, they are made into such a product that it's fire resistant, heat resistant, wrinkle free. Like there are almost 8,000 chemicals that are added to this baby clothing just to make it accessible, or just to make it more protected from the environment outside. So these big stores, like I don't want to take names, but they use around 8,000 chemicals which are used in children clothing. Especially nowadays we see every child has a skin sensitivity. Because we make these natural dyed clothing, we have so many mothers or fathers telling us that their child is allergic to a lot of chemical dyes. So they only want to use these fabrics or natural fabrics. But the main issue here is skin sensitivity. Also because the environment is changing. This summer might be the coldest summer. The next summer will be more intense, right? We won't be able to wear it. So it will keep on, the temperatures will change. But how are we adapting to it? What are we changing in our lifestyle that is going to help us be more comfortable? We are okay, but imagine like just born children. Now it will be the hottest climate for them. So how are we protecting them, right? So we mainly focus on children clothing, which is completely toxic free, chemical free. We also don't use like the smallest amount of chemical. In cotton, they bleach the cotton so that it becomes white. So we don't use even the bleach to whiten it. That's why we don't have white. We have ivory white colors. Like if you see, this is not pure white. if you see in the lighter, like what sir's wearing, this is not that color, right? So all the cloth or all the kids clothing that we make are all completely zero chemicals, and all are dyed with natural dyes. Then coming to some of the Vedic clothing that sir mentioned, there is a brand called AYURVEDIC which is in Kerala. They make clothing which is suitable for skin types. So if the skin has some allergy related to psoriasis, eczema, so the clothing heals your body. That's the idea that Kerala had been following it for generations together, like centuries together. We also have it. If you know the story about Sita dyeing her sari in turmeric, it's called Sitamvar Pasupunar Chera. So not only just our mythical stories, every culture or every community had natural dyeing unit in their own communities. So now only just 1900s, 1940s, during the British rule, we had lost all our techniques and colors and how clothing can be natural. The entire idea is lost, the information and knowledge is lost. So we are trying to revive that as well during this process. Some of the skin diseases, like I mentioned, which is psoriasis and eczema. And especially when you think of these diseases, we are the third parties who might face these diseases. But the one who's actually in the unit, dyeing those colors. And so there are some case studies like in Pochampalli, because most of those, not most, I think entirely the units are chemical dyes. So they have generations of cancers, skin cancers, continuing. Even the one who is dyeing, like coloring the fabric even now, he is also having the same disease, which is also there in their generations because of being exposed to so many chemicals at a time. He is breathing in, his skin is absorbing it. So there are so many things that the person who, like how our farmers are being more ill than, who's consuming the food. The same way, even our artisan community is becoming sick because of the chemicals. So we are not the first parties that are being affected by it. We are the third parties. The main people who are being affected is the one who is in the field. Then coming to some natural fibers. I think we all know so many natural fibers. Can some of you just mention some natural fibers that you know? That's it? Jute. Bamboo silk. Yes, lovely. Anything more? Banana fiber. Almost a lot of plants that have fiber can be made into a natural fiber, which can be either used for making clothing or bags or something. So some of the natural fibers, like you mentioned, are cotton, khadi. Khadi also comes from the cotton plant itself. Jute and silk. Bamboo. So for our tropical climate, when it's humid, when we are sweating so much, where we have intense heat, but body still has its own mechanism to cool itself by sweating, or so the ideal fabric is cotton, then comes khadi, then all the other fibers, like if it going, because we don't wear silk every time, it's occasional thing. So the main thing that we can focus on is cotton and khadi, which is like the most comfortable and ideal for our skin for tropical weathers.
What is the difference between cotton and khadi?
Cotton only the yarn is mill made andi. The rest of the process is entirely handmade. If it's handloom cotton aithe. Otherwise, when it comes to khadi, even the thread that they make, cotton to sliver, sliver to thread, yarn to fabric, the entire process is handmade. So andike even when you see khadi and cotton, I'll also show a small difference. Khadi has these little black dots. That is the processed cotton, which still is not fully processed because it's done by hand. Even you see little slubs, ante little thicknesses here and there, it's not even entirely. So that is how khadi would be. Cotton is more fine because from cotton the thread making process is done by machine, and from there, if it's a handloom thing, then from there the process is all entirely handloom, like that is called cotton. So that's the only difference between them. And you can, sorry. Yeah, so linens are more processed fabrics than cottons. The fibers are extracted from flax plants. So it is expensive and also highly processed, which is ideal for our skin again, but it's also highly expensive.
In cotton they are using chemicals.
Cotton again, production, just like how our organics are made. If the cotton production is organic, then it's organic cotton, which is again very expensive because nobody produces organic cotton. Now nobody produces anything organic. It's it gets expensive, right?
Anything organic is
So why is that?
even vegetables are expensive.
Vegetables are also expensive, so we should also stop eating anymore. So why is anything organic or anything that is done without chemicals expensive? Ideally it should be cheaper, no?
Production is
Lesser production. And why is lesser production happening? Less demand.
No demand.
No demand.
No,
Less
because
demand.
even manpower problem also is there.
My resources, everything, yeah, that. Okay.
Naturally grow means less production.
Less production. It usually will have less production, but India is, even now, and even before the colonization, before the Britishers' time, we're still the largest exporters of indigo. It's still done naturally only. So production is not always dependent on only the resources that we have. It's also the intent that we are making it with. So exactly why the prices are higher? Because there is less demand, there is less consumption. We are not eating that food. We are not choosing to wear such clothes. We are not choosing to make such things. That's why the consumption is less, and that's why the demand has decreased, and that is why we don't have people producing it. That is why the costs are higher, right? A small example, like when I travel for exhibits to Delhi, Bangalore, all these cities. So when I travel to Delhi, everybody over there says, we don't have tailors, nobody can stitch it. Only if you make it and you sell it, we'll wear. Otherwise, I don't think we'll wear it. So, but we come, I don't know where all you are coming from, but here in Vizag we have a tailor maybe more than one tailor in every street. So we have resources, but why are we not wearing tailor-made clothing? It is time taking. It's easy to pick from the mall. Then? Huh? Mental slavery. Okay, maybe we are conditioned to do that. Okay.
Number of tailors day by day become very less.
Tailors are becoming less because we are not getting it stitched from them. Same thing. Yeah.
Nowadays machines are use machine in Vizag, apparel park.
But still, tailors at apparel parks, sir.
Most of they are machine work.
Most nowadays, and these are हाथ का काम most mechanized. how as people, as conscious beings, right? We always strive to be more conscious, isn't it? या फिर कुछ भी चलता है, we'll do anything.
Availability is problem. Majority of people are availability problem.
Availability. I'd agree that, yeah, true.
The process is tedious and costing same thing.
Process is tedious and it might also cost the same. Yeah, yeah.
Lack of knowledge
Lack of knowledge of
regarding the health benefits of wearing those clothes or the negative effects of wearing those clothes.
Sensitization.
okay, right. But I'm asking about why are we not wearing tailored clothes? Why are we not getting anything stitched only? How many of us have stitched like blouses or shirts or dhotis, kurtas, anything? How many outfits in our shelf are all tailor made?
Not a single.
50%.
Not, mostly not.
50%.
50-50, okay,
Pants
still.
are,
70. So I think these should be our status symbols, right? Don't you think?
You know, this tailors used to give a lot of
shirt,
problem.
all shirts ready
They
made.
never-
No, instead the status symbols are which brand is that shirt, which brand is that wallet. So, yeah. So, if you see most of the brands, they sell their own logos or their own brand promotion. I don't know why we should be wearing them or why we should be even carrying them around.
No, they are simply changing the names.
Yeah, most of, because like you said, apparel park, if they go, even being human t-shirts are being made there.
Brand,
So,
they change brand name.
it's only just the tag and label.
Everything is made in Bangladesh.
Everything is made in Bangladesh. Yeah, most of the fast fashion, yeah. Now, then why are we choosing to give that more value than a tailored made, which is a right fit? He'll take our measurements, he'll take the entire, the kind of fit that we like. So we have so many choices and options to give him, get it made, but we still choose to.
Because they are giving 50% discount something.
They're giving 50% discount because the stock is old. Telling charges are increasing again because we are not using their source or their expertise and getting things made.
One more, in online they are promoting all these products in online.
So again, accessibility is one of the biggest issue. So we can't really go to our tailor in our street and get it made. But online it's available, which we think is more accessible. But to be honest, every village, every state, every district has its own craft, has its own handlooms. We just have to explore them. Like here we have Srikakulam, Ponduru and Ampolu. So like around 3 to 4 clusters. Cluster is not, it's not a one man's job. A cluster has around 1,000 people working in it, making all handmade products. So we are not choosing to go there, instead we are choosing to get it online. So it's also conscious choice that we are making. So why not make a conscious choice to use something more sustainable even for us and even for the planet and nature around. Another example that I'd like to give. So I was traveling to Karnataka, Udupi. Then there's this artisan, one of my uncle's friend he is, and they make leather wallets. So my, again we are all brand conscious. So my dad's birthday was coming, so I wanted to buy him some leather wallet because men, they generally don't like anything. They like what is functional, what they can use, right? So women, we have so many things that we like. So I wanted to buy him a wallet, and I went to Woodlands because if we see any brand, there's only one brand that does genuine leather or genuine wood for that matter. So we went to Woodlands to buy, and they showed me like 10 wallets. They're all fake leather. I know that because I travel and see different leathers and we work with leather. And I told him, why did the quality become so bad? Like I went there after 5 years, so I didn't know what changed. So I asked the manager. He said, "नहीं मैम ये तो वही है, the same thing. It's been there since then. We don't compromise on our quality." I'm like, this is fake leather. I know that much. Then I was like, the price is the same though. It's still 2,500. It's still 3,000. Why is that? The quality is reduced to almost 90%. There's no leather. And how come the price is the same? So I asked him, and then he just laughed it out. So that's not like that's not the place we argue with them, right? So then I just realized that's how the brands are nowadays. Then I promised my dad that I'll get you a good wallet, just wait. Karke. So I went to this Udupi, and this guy had like this entire basket of wallets. It was leather, all fully leather. And when I just entered, that's what caught my eye. And I was like, that is a pure leather. I asked him, how much are you selling for? He said 650. And I'm like the good quality product, when you see it, when you know how to identify it, and there are people making it for lesser prices. So at Sankalpa we try to bring such products. We also do a lot of collection and resale. So what I mean to say here is that a lot of brands are also cheating us. They're fooling us into thinking we don't know how to identify or what it is. Aditya Birla's meter fabric is 2000. Panduru meter fabric khadi is 2000. So how do we know the difference? Aditya Birla's shirt is all shiny and glossy. Khadi, Panduru khadi, if you see, it's normal. Like a sir's wearing, it's the same. It looks the same. But how are we knowing or identifying these is on us. So how are we making the choice? How do we know this is good for us? Unless we have that awareness, unless we know what it looks like, right? So we also do a lot of workshops, which the idea is to share these informations only in the workshop, and about how to identify these products, or how to identify what is good quality, what is not. So another same thing happened when I went to that wallet guy. I asked him to give me 10 because I know that I can't find it anywhere, and I am going to bring them back, give it to the family or something like that. Then he was surprised. Nobody buys 10, right? They buy only 1 or 2. Then he was like, "Beti ye dekho," karke he removed his belt and shirt. Do you know how old this is? I was like, how old can a belt be, right? How old can it be? How many years do you use your belt? 3 to 4 years max. That is like a good belt, that is, right? 3 to 4 years. So he told me it's 40 years old. So probably even his father was using it. So if our lifespan is around 100, मान लो कि 120 also. How many will use? Maybe 2 to 3 belts in our entire life, right? So product consumption, this is about that. How many clothes or how many set of even in kitchen, how many vessels are we using, and how many of those vessels are good quality vessels? How many of them are not aluminium? How many of them are aluminium? 50-50. Okay. 75 are aluminium. Okay, that's it's not. It's steel. Yes. No aluminium. That's good. Okay. So same way, any product we choose, anything that we buy, household products, clothing, accessories, right? So all these we have to be more conscious when we choose, right? When it comes to utensils, it's about food. All of us cook, all of us know what kind of utensils to use. So when we have that sort of awareness, we can make conscious choice. That's the only bottom line, and we are trying to make this more reachable to people. Chiranjeev, okay. So well, that is what we do and how we are trying to make it work. So some of the natural dyes that you know, you've heard of natural dyes before, right? So some that you know.
You said
Khadi is khadar. Rendo. So,
example of Pochampalli.
yeah.
I use Pochampalli clothes. I
Okay.
never knew that they use the chemical dyes.
You've
They
been-
always claim that these are natural dyes.
No, okay.
I have a couple of stores close to my home.
Okay.
I go there and purchase my clothes.
You're from Pochampalli?
Hyderabad.
You're from Hyderabad. Okay. You've been to Pochampalli?
I've been to Pochampalli. I have known places where they sell the clothes.
Okay. So, again, when they say it's natural dye, we know what natural dye looks like. So, the only thing that we can do for when they try to fool us, or we being in such a situation, I think only identifying and knowing about it. Now we'll get there, how natural dyes even look like. So, Pochampalli, if you see, they are the brightest colors of Telangana. So, in natural dyes, we cannot find such bright colors unless there is something chemical mix. So, even in natural dyes, we have Manjista, madder root, gives red colors. It only gives light pinks like Manjista. So, it gives lighter pinks, and depending on the region, like Orissa, it gives darker reds. But when it comes to there is one more chemical which can be mixed in it, which makes it completely red. It's called algerin. So, there are ways you can mix chemical dyes and natural dyes, and then it's working. Yeah, Manjista is this. It gives, I think here it gives this. I think this, the deepest would be this color, and the lightest is the base of it. So, we get only these colors in Manjista. When you see, when someone tells you that Manjista also gives the darker red, then we have to think twice if it's Manjista or not, if it's the natural dye or not. So, identifying is everything when it comes to these natural products, handmade products. Another one is indigo. So, can someone tell me any historic references where you've heard indigo at all? Hair dye, okay. That's it? Indigo is used in tattoo? Okay, I don't know that. Okay, maybe we'll read. Sorry? It's one of the colors in villagers, right? You said indigo car. Oh, indigo car. Oh, that's the classic though. Every taxi is an indigo or an indica, right? So
exporting indigo from India to Manchester.
yeah, so we know how our indigo is being taken away, but we are the world's second largest exporters of indigo, also before Britishers came in. So only during the British rule, what they did was they forced our farmers into growing more and more indigo. That's why it's also called, it's used only by the royals. So the color is also called royal blue. That is why there is huge demand. So there is also exploitation then. So being sustainable even during such high demand stages is important. As a country, as a nation, India has always been sustainable. We never faced any issues with that. But during the British rule, this indigo revolt, which is Neel Vidroh, which started in West Bengal, that is the first known revolution against the colonization. Then starts whatever satyagraha and everything that we had. So this was the biggest revolt, and our farmers fought a lot. They lost their lives, and even now if we are able to wear indigo, it's because of them. So the colors have huge historical references, and also Indian textile was copied in England or anywhere else in the entire world, because it was so rich with our natural colors. Even if you see now the temples now, Sri Kurmam, Lepakshi, all these temples have natural painted, the paintings are all naturally colored, and that's what the paintings, the colors used in the paintings are. So I'm sure like Sri Kurmam is almost more than 1000 years old. We have Lepakshi, which is even more older, but the colors are still there, the paintings are still very lively. So we figured out how to fix these colors for so long, and also how to make them brighter. Only we have the knowledge. Most of the Asian countries and the Asian continent have the knowledge of making the dyes more bright, more vibrant, and also if you've seen nowadays on Instagram, there is this reel that is very famous, which says the world's costliest fabric. Did you come across? So it's like only Rajas and Maharajas, they used to wear it for the very, it's called the 600 count cotton. So now what we wear, ideal count is 60 count. So for our temperatures, we wear 60 count, which is like fine, like this thick. So imagine it's a 600 count fabric. So the thinnest of all. It's like so transparent, you can see like the entire body structure of the Maharaja. They used to wear so many layers, but that's how the dressing style was back then. So
This seed was yesterday used for Kajal.
Kajal, okay, lovely. So myrobalan, karakkai, which is haritaki in Hindi, which is used in again lot of Ayurvedic practices itself. It's also used in Triphala, and it's a rich dye source. Like I said, color alone won't be enough. Fixing this color is important. So this is a fixer. Even if you see in a lot of tribal communities, not just tribal communities, a little remote rural communities, they still, if a newborn, like if there is a newborn in the house, they dye their langurts and all those with karakkai, with harad, and then only, so that's their first clothing of the babies. So I'm sure maybe it might be for us also, because that's how mothers are or fathers are more conscious about the child, and it also keeps the baby or keeps the sensitive skin away from any kind of infections. That's why it's used in Kajal also yesterday, right? So I'm sure we all know this from somewhere else other than the color and everything. You've not used it before for anything else? Karakkai, harad, for?
You mean to say this seed is nut is also a coloring agent, right?
It is a coloring agent, but in general we use at home also. For cold and cough, that's like an immediate effective medicine that we have at home.
In fabrics also.
So yeah, for in Triphala it's used for digestion and everything, but at home the immediate use is for cough and cold that we use at home. So that's also used in dye, and that gives those butter yellow colors. Black is kasan. Black is made with fermented iron, jaggery and methi. This dye can be made at home also. We can just put a small pot. It can be used as an ink also for kids to write, paint and stuff. All the colors can be used as painting materials, same way. So this is fermented for 6 months in a pot, and we get like an ink concentrated color of black. Then that is used in making these jet flags. The color black and also grey colors. So and this has a lot of Ayurvedic properties, because the base for this, to fix this color, we use harad, karakkai. We use karakkai as base and then color it in black to fix it. So are there any other fermentation methods that we know? Some more fermented things that we eat, or beetroot. Beetroot. No, curd. Yeah, I'm asking about fermented things or yeah, curd, khali, batters, dosa, ganji, khali. Okay. So just like fermentation is good for our gut health, same way lot of dyes are made by fermenting. One is karakai black, and indigo is also fermented for 21 days. Manjista is used in cosmetics and skincare for everybody. It's used in soaps. Normally it detoxifies. So whatever skin issues that we have, it cools the body down. There is Manjista teas also. Here they use a lot of Manjista. We use it in bath powder also. So it's a good effective for skin treatments. Khadira, this is Techu or areca nut dye, which is mainly famous in Karnataka. Everybody uses natural dye there, most of them. So they have a lot of production. They have farmers producing this color. It gives these brown colors. Even what Sir was wearing, that's the brown that it gives. And it's naturally cooling in nature. So Khadira and Manjista, these both are ideal for summers especially, as like wearing them would be better. This is Sindoor, annatto seeds. So this also gives beautiful orange colors, which we use in our wooden toys. So this first ring is annatto seeds color, oranges. So like we said, we make a lot of products that involve natural dyes. This is one of it. We make children toys, some gifting products and stuff. So because they keep them most of the time, they always chew on the toys that they use, right? The idea is whatever is close to them is not harmful to them. So that's why we use all the natural dyes like I mentioned. This is Khadira, this is indigo and turmeric, this is turmeric. Sorry? The glossy look comes from lac. Lac is also like a resin which is natural, secreted by an insect, it's natural. It's not varnish or anything.
Is your enterprise government aided
It's not, it's a private organization.
Not a self-help?
No.
Nothing to do with that.
We are registered under MSMEs. No, sorry. Ideally, we don't get aids to such enterprises where there is no profit.
Our government is promoting a lot of self-help groups doing this.
Where are you from, sir?
Sikkim.
Oh,
Candle production and other.
actually now there's a lot more happening regarding the manufacturing and everything. A lot of governments are supporting the craftsmen, artisans, everybody.
My daughter is involved in Atal Incubation Center.
Okay.
They are promoting startups.
Okay. Atal Incubation Center, they do great job. Yeah. But we are also not a startup anymore. So we are like as old as 10, 11 years now.
But still you can get a lot of benefits from it.
Right. True.
MSMEs also are getting subsidy loans.
Nobody gives a loan. There are so many loans which we tried to apply. But again, this involves a lot of investment and we are not backed up with so many ancestral properties. So ideally we don't get such
You are
loans.
doing a very wonderful job, so wide variety of
We are trying, so the best thing that we can do is do it on our own. So far the enterprise is all bootstrapped only. And we tried with a lot of schemes, it did not work. So nothing wrong there. Like there are in Karnataka, the governments are promoting a lot of handicrafts. Here, identification again is the biggest issue. Everybody knows what Etikopaka is. I hope we all know Etikopaka. That is one craft which we have GI tag. But there are so many other clusters, like there is Kondapalli, which is older than Etikopaka, and our weaves are the finest weaves, like Andhra weaves, like Mangalgiri, Uppada, or Panduru, all these. Venkatgiri especially. Yeah.
Have you been to Bhutan?
From? To Bhutan? No.
Bhutan, they don't use enamel paints.
Oh.
All dyes.
No.
And clothing also, all natural dyes. And they make their own clothes. And their traditional clothes you don't get in the malls and all that.
True.
So
The clothes are vibrant and they're beautiful. So even every community or people who are close to their culture, they still use natural colors. It's only us, because of a lot of influences, I think we've changed. But otherwise who are close to their cultures, traditions and everything, they're still using the same products, they're still surviving in the fast-paced life, and they're still inspiring, I believe. So that is one of the colors, and most of the colors that we make are all produced in-house. We make them, we grow them, we use them for our own consumption. So the idea is to make it end-to-end sustainable. There is also pomegranate skin. There is marigold. We just yesterday we dyed with marigold, and this is how it looks, marigold. It looks even brighter. It gives beautiful yellow shades and stuff.
Can you tell us more about very clothes, which is
Right. So all the dyes that we discussed before, the Khadira, Manjista, Kasim, Myrobilin, indigo, especially indigo. Indigo is like hugely, indigo dyed clothes are exported so much that we have a deficit. So lot of brands here in India who make indigo, they don't sell here. They sell for 20,000-30,000 outside the country. So we have that available. It's a plant-based dye. If we grow indigo, or if we know somebody that grows indigo, we can dye this at home actually. So I think that is how much accessible all the herbal clothes are to us. We just, with this workshop, we want to bring it to your homes. That's the idea. So especially now that I told you about children, now we'll be more conscious, right? Whoever has a child, we either gift them something like that, or if we are a grandparent or a grandmother or uncle, aunt, anything, we would also want to make it for them because it's a small thing, right? So the idea is that we make them at home and try at least one natural dyed outfit in our wardrobe. If not natural dyed, at least 100% cotton clothing, which will really help us this summer. So these are all the herbal dyes. There are so many dyes in nature. Nature has plenty, but it's all like vegetables and fruits and everything. These are the identified ones. We can try with spinach, beetroot, all these colors. So I'd like to end the entire theory session here. Thank you for being a part of this. Now we'll start with the workshop. If you're comfortable, I'd say we'll take out the chairs, sit down, and make maybe, if we have these many, I think 3 groups. We'll make it into 3 groups. Everybody will get their own fabric. We'll just, once we try it at hand, I think we'll be more comfortable trying it at home. That's the idea about this activity. So you can break off and only if you're comfortable. Whoever's not comfortable, you can sit on the chair. you can sit separately, individually also, but group would be more fun. Huh?